Must be something heaven sends. Payback for the love I spent.
Hello and welcome to the Tasman Racing League Oval Series. We return for the continuation of Season 1, Round 7 at Talladega. Yeah, Talladega. It's the one we've been waiting for a while. 4.27 kilometers of high banking, high-octane action here in partly cloudy conditions, 36% humidity, 22 degrees Celsius out on track with an 8-kilometer-an-hour wind at the moment. Of course, over here in the beautiful state of Alabama, great place to be, and in the USA, as expected. We will be, of course, going today for a 10-minute lone qualifying. That's underway at the moment, a 60-lap feature race to come, and a 60-second lap, approximately. About 50 seconds or so, really, let's be honest, about 55 seconds. We'll call it a minute a lap. It's longer than some tracks we've gone to in this season, and with only 4 rounds ahead of us, leading up to the 10th and final round, this is an exciting one, and an important one for the championship as well. Your commentators today are going to be John Wright and myself, George Cooke. Of course, the broadcasting brought to you by TrackSpotTV. And welcome back, John. The banting's been good. This is a track that you've been talking about for a while. Maybe you can tell us why.
Because it holds a very, very, very special place in my heart. It's not only my first dalliance into oval racing. It's also my first ranked win on iRacing at Talladega as well. I got my little certificate and everything. But no, this course is absolutely insane. There are so many factors for the drivers to worry about. You don't just have to worry about the tyres. You don't just have to worry about the fuel. You need to worry about your engine blowing up if you're in the slipstream too long. And I don't know if you know this, George, but you're likely to spend a lot of time in the slipstream around this course with the bump drafting and the high-speed corners, making it an almost necessity. There are measures the drivers can take. There's clever little bits of sellotape you can add to your car, but that will slow down your top-end speed. Do you really want to sacrifice that? Some drivers will. Some drivers won't. They certainly won't be in qualifying, but it is a 5D, 6D game of chess that the drivers are playing on this one. And of course, being an oval, it's got an absolutely nightmarish pit entry as well. It just makes for a phenomenal day out racing. It does when you're watching anyway.
Absolutely right. Well, there's all sorts of history here as well. It's built on an old airfield used for trading and personnel back in the day. And as I understand it, there is a Talladega curse that predates the racetrack. Locals claiming that the land once long belonged to a Creek Indian settlement, and the chief cursed it after his tribe's forced relocation in the 1830s. So we may be dealing with a bit more than commentators' curses and broadcasters' curses today. The slipstream curse, the ancient curse, we don't know. I think it's going to be a wild round of racing. I'm really, really looking forward to this. And slipstream in an oval race? No, I mean, come on. That's not a thing. I mean, what are we worried about? What are we worried about? Surely it's just full send, plant your foot to the floor? No, I don't think so. Those banks are absolutely crazy out there.
Yeah, they really are. The difference, like we've seen it already at the super speedway, there's going to be anything up to a 35km/h difference between your top speed if you have a car in front of you and if you don't. That is the level that we're talking about. So it's absolutely vital to stay in that train. This is another one of those courses where we could see a solid outside line as well. 2 lines firmly running. So yeah, it's going to be fun. And just to touch on the jinx thing as well, actually, George. Interesting fact. So the curse, the origin of the curse, it is spoken of that there was an Indian burial ground there where the chief cursed the ground when they had to move. There's also a version where it was actually the site of a Native American horse race during which the chief was killed when he was thrown from his horse. So there's actually 2 origin stories held by the locals, both to do with Native Americans, both to do with the same tribe. One when they were moved, one when the chief was killed after the horse race, and then the tribe moved, which therefore cursed the track, apparently. But there's been some, I've had a little read of a few things in the past, and it's enough to, it really does send a little shiver up your spine when you read some of the things that have gone on, some of the weirdness and some of the people that have died, and some very bizarre circumstances at Talladega. Yes, it is certainly an interesting course in multiple ways.
Now, this is just adding fuel to the fire of the superstition of race car drivers, isn't it? I mean, let's be honest. We're also hearing from chat from Lusek. Apparently there's a pet cemetery at the entrance to the pit lane as well, so we're expecting that to get particularly spicy. A trifecta of potential curses. Going to be fascinating out there. Here's our season schedule on the side. We've got Talladega today. Then on the 19th of November, we're heading to Martinsville. 26th of November for the season penultimate race. It is Michigan. And of course, on the 3rd of December, make sure you join us here for the season finale at Miami, or as I've now coined it, Miami. It is one of those things. Someone can forgive me when I hopefully reach the pearly gates. Let's look at the points at the moment, because Lucas Blake is on top and still with some really good results under his belt on 417 points and escaping his way from the clutches of Lewis Buhaja, who has got some catching up to do. Let's put it that way. For Hybrid Sim Sport, behind them, Jason Hutchins. What an absolute roller coaster he has had this season, but some great results in the last couple of rounds has seen him move up into 3rd position for 420 Oz Racing. His teammate, Wade Georgeson, still holding on to 4th position, followed by Kelvin Clark for 1-9 on 242 points. And in P6, there's Matthew Searle, our resident road racer for Trident Racing, coming in, and equal points here between him, Tom Williams, and Jared Williams, all on 226 points. A real battle for the ages for that P6 position. Behind them, Damien Coates for Wright Rear Racing, only 4 points off that battle. Will he join them? Maybe we have a 4-way battle for that 6th position. And of course, rounding out the top 10, Nicholas Heath for Wright Rear Racing, Daniel Hutchins, Jack Kelly-Reid, Ryan Llewellyn, Adam Van Dongen, Nick Burling, Jordan T. Nelson, Bradley Austin, Boone Blake, Rob Tilley, Cliff Potter, and we do have one more on the list, and that is Dylan DeBono, who is in 21st position with 7 points. So here's some spicy battles here. Lucas Blake, has got a really good advantage here, John. Lewis Buerger on a bit of a good run of form, though. There's a possibility, mathematically, it's still possible for Lewis here to get up ahead of Lucas in this championship. And we've seen it all before here at TRL.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's still a chance for Hutchins and Johnson and Clark to all catch up as well. All it takes is one bad result leads into a second bad result, leads into, oh my goodness, we've got 2 races left and suddenly I've only got a 1-point lead, giving it the full Oscar Piastri, I believe they call that. So, yeah, it is definitely a possibility we could end up seeing the championship challengers tumble by the wayside. But at the minute, it is looking like a 2-horse race between Lucas and Lewis Blake, the Buhager. Petrol versus Slipstream. Come on, Lewis, fill that tank, son. You can do it. Take that extra weight. Let your foot off the gas. Come on, let's go.
Oh dear. You're telling a race driver to take his foot off the gas is like telling a pet cemetery in the pit lane not to curse the drivers coming into the pit lane. I don't think it's going to happen. It's not going to work. There's no rituals that we can perform here today that'll, I think, save either Lewis or anyone coming into the pit lane. Let's hope they have a clean race, though. We are just coming up to the end of our lone qualifying, so stay tuned. We will have our grid for you in a moment's time. In fact, there it is. Just as I said, I wonder if that's a little bit of a preemptive bit of good luck there from the Curse side. Anyway, on pole position, Damien Coates, who returns, finds himself 32 hundredths of a second on the front row of the grid ahead of Wade Georgeson. What a qualifying he's put in this time. Lewis Buerger, 3rd position, not the worst place to start, let's be honest. And then 4th, it is Jason Hutchins, ahead of Ryan Llewellyn in 5th. Boone Blake in 6th position, qualifying ahead of Bradley Austin, our privateer, and debuted, of course, last time out, asking if he was supposed to not see the dash out there on the car. The Lucas Blake, a poor qualifying for him, but only 0.141 off the top time. He'll be just ahead of Matthew Searle on track, and with Jack Kelly-Reid over there in P10. And behind them, Daniel Hutchins, Rob Tilley, and Jared Williams. Some surprise qualifying results here for sure, John. Before we get your thoughts on that, we're going to head out to track, so we'll see everyone over there in a few moments' time. Right, well, we are on the grid. John, your thoughts on that qualifying? I mean, great from Damien Coates. What an absolutely brilliant bit of qualifying that was.
Indeed, that's an absolute worldie of a lap. 54.849 with no slipstream assistance. Yeah, he is lucky he actually managed to bring some rubber home on the rims of those tyres. He must have been absolutely nailing that inside line. There is a pattern to getting a qualifying lap round here. You have to run as close to the wall on the high side for just over a lap and then absolutely pin it to that inside line. And it looks like Coates has managed that. Blake only just managing to squeak himself into the top 10 and several positions behind Buhager. Now, we've seen what Buhager can do out at the front. He knows how to strategize. He knows how to race. I give him a lot of grief, I know, about the petrolling thing, but it only is because he has so much talent, and he's clearly got a sense of humour as well from the chat. But he knows what he's doing up there, and I'll tell you what, this could be a very, 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 very good night for Lewis if he can keep Lucas back there. Because as I say, at Talladega, this is going to be absolutely nose to tail, side by side for lap after lap. It's not easy to get the overtakes done here, George. You sometimes have to go up, really hope for a big slipstream along the first straight after turns 1 and 2. Try and get into the 3rd lane and pop the car around the outside. It's not an easy task. As much fun and as quick as this course is, overtaking is not as easy as you would think because it's so close. So Lewis here, not quite on the front row of the grid, but he might as well be as far as Lucas Blake's concerned, because that is a world of difference between them, and it makes for an interesting opening few laps of the race. We'll see. That's one I'm going to be really keeping an eye on, I think, George. That's, yeah, interesting times at the top of the championship.
Certainly is. We've got a big competition on our hands here. Round 7, of course, Talladega Super Speedway about to get started. We're coming through the final corner. before we get to that little bit of strip of yellow tarmac. Oh, yellow and black tarmac, I should say. The finish line, and our stewards will be waving the green flag in a few moments' time. The pit lane will have the safety car peel off in a few moments' time. Critical times for the championship. It's going to be an exciting race. So we're going to see 3 wide or 2 wide right at the beginning. Who's going to get the best run off the line? That's going to be key. Damien Coates. It's his race to lose at the moment. Buhaja and Georgeson and Hutchins not going to make it easy for him at all. We have a green flag, and we are now away and racing. Damien Coates has gotten away very, very nicely. Wadeson, though, has not got away quite as nicely. They all fill into this too long stream, although someone, as one of the blue cars, the number 11 at the moment, trying to make it 3 wide, trying to force the issue a little bit early on. And Boone Blake is absolutely keen to say, yes, sir. He is going to take that, and through goes the Bradley Austin. Great stuff. Boone Blake going to be pushing him ahead. Going to get this to be a 2 wide pack at the start of this race. Damien Coates will be under pressure now. And, of course, Lewis Buhaja is going to have to watch his angle of attack as he's now got a car, 2 cars, in fact, on the right-hand side of the vehicle.
He does indeed. Sorry, I almost jumped in George's opening commentary there, but it looked like Damien Coates got an absolute horror show of a start. Horror show of a start. Buhaja was climbing in the back of that, sharing a bunch of snags. See, I know the local lingo. He jumped in the back of that truck there, and it left Austin with absolutely no place to go. They all very quickly and very violently started bump crafting one another, and Austin left with no place to go. He now finds himself leading the second line. That wasn't his plan at the start of the race. As George said, the middle line moved out of the way for him. He ends up now leading the second line with Lewis Buhaja firmly pushing Coates, and that's exactly what he needs to be doing. Where is Lucas Blake? 7th position, so he's made up a couple at the start. Kelly Reid is actually down in position, but it is Coates, Buhaja, Austin, Llewellyn, Blake, Serrell, Blake, Kelly Reid, Johnson and Hutchins in the top 10 at the minute. Williams, J. Williams and J. Hutchins are swapping positions. D. Hutchins and the other Williams. Oh no, we've only got one Williams out today, sorry. So the battling brothers will be battling between themselves and one another as we're absolutely nailing these on the inside line here. Damien Coates still holding on to the lead, and I think we're going to stay like this for a little while now, George. Everyone is going to fall into position, and they're going to realise that really, now be careful on that corner exit there. Look how close Lewis Buhaja is trying to keep Damien Coates in the lead of the race, thereby keeping himself in second, but it's not quick enough. It's Austin who's got a worldly of a start to the race. He's on the outside line, needs a bit more commitment from that car behind him though. Can't be running wide like that through the bend. This is absolutely where you need to keep it pinned. On these curves is where the slipstream is at its most important, and at the minute it's, well, I tell you what, Coates, Buhaja, they've got very lucky there indeed. Llewellyn still hanging on to that one, but yeah, for me, Damien, not Coates, sorry, it's Austin. It just needs a little bit more commitment from the cars behind them, John, because that one, who's that in the white car just behind them? Sorry, they keep changing the liveries.
That is Boone Blake and then Lucas Blake in that second line. So they're not working together as maybe we thought they might do. There was expected to be a little bit more bump drafting there, but I mean, they are still making up some time. The sidestep very, very powerful on the outside line there, but as soon as they get through the corner, of course, that's completely neutralised because they're taking the long way round, essentially.
Indeed, yeah, look, no grip. Yeah, he needs to tighten his steering column. Yeah, needs to tighten his steering column and actually keep the car down behind Austin, because you see every corner. That's Austin now parallel with the third car in the bottom train. He was nose in front of the lead car in that train, and it is because Blake behind them aren't tucked in there like the Jamaican bobsleigh team, like they were seeing on the bottom line there. Coates, Buhaja absolutely got this one dialed in. Llewellyn as well.
That's not where you want to be. Wide. Boone Blake is going to take the lead of that second pack now. Bradley's been, unfortunately, self-served himself out. And Lewis
no, he's not, because here comes Buhaja.
Yeah, I was about to say this. Lewis Buhaja, now that there's no car there, he'd be absolutely keen to take that outside line. He's done so. Boone Blake's quite happy with that. Pulls in right behind the rear wing of Lewis Buhaja, and now the second pack's got a real shot at getting ahead.
Indeed they do, and what, that's it. Is that Coates? No, sorry, so he's still running in second place. Sorry, yes, so he's been left there. Where is the blue car? Oh, tumbled
Cooke
down
now
the hard
down all the way down in P10, but I mean only by 0.1 or 2 of a second here. The gaps, of course, absolutely minute. No massive accidents so far. We did see a little bit of a scraping of doors between Buerger and Bradley Austin a few moments ago. You can see Bradley keeps taking that wider upper line of the banking, as you said, John. I mean, the steering column's got to be dialed in. Bradley is very, very new to the oval racing scene, may not have had the ability to do that. Buerger takes the lead from Damien Coates. That's Boone Blake on the outside line trying to make an attack.
Indeed, yes, Llewellyn and Lucas Blake as well. Lucas is absolutely loving life at the minute. He's managed to steal himself 2 positions by doing absolutely nothing. They've been completely handed to him after the outside line. Just thought, yeah, you know what, we're going to go 3 wide. Drop off the pace. Oh, and that is so close. That is some absolutely stunning work by Buerger up at the front. Beautiful bump draft in the outside line. We can see again, folks, the bottom line, very coherent. They've got 3-4 cars in the line at all time, but that top line, though, as soon as we get around the bend, one of the 2 of them pop out, and it just makes all that difference when they're trying to nail those top end speeds. As we can see once again, the outside line gets left behind. We come on to the straightaway. This is where this outside line should come straight back. Buerger threatening to move over just to keep them on their toes, but here they come. And there's what I mean, George. You can see the difference. The outside line, when they come off the banking, they have the momentum, so they should be temporarily taking the lead, or at least Blake should be, but they're just not getting it done through the corners right now. And Buerger does have a tenuous grip on the lead of the race. We're already 7 laps into this one, only 53 to go. They should have made this a 200 lap race just so we've got the the appropriate
you
amount
are
of track
getting way
here,
too
John.
excited about Talladega. He's too excited. John Wright, ladies and gentlemen, he is a man who thought he might not be able to make it tonight and was very happy when he realized he could. And so are we. I think we all are in the chat. Welcome into those, by the way, watching in the TrackSpotTV YouTube channel. Give us a like and a subscribe over there to help support us from a broadcasting perspective. In the meantime, yeah, you can see this slipstream works really, really well for them on the straights, as you said, John, but they need to be a little bit tighter, maybe a little bit more risk-taking through those corners and just bring it closer to the inside line. They're hovering in the sort of middle upper part of the track, but this is looking a little bit better this lap around the banking.
He's looking a bit better there. Yeah, it's Austin who's now back at the rear. He's now 4th car in that outside line. And I tell you what, they've done well on the banking there. And there's what I'm talking about. When you come off the banking, the outside line could often have their nose in front, and Blake certainly did there. But again, just an incoherent line there. It's now 2 by 2. We've kind of got 2 and then 1 in the 3rd line, 1 half in the 3rd lane. Yeah. And again, there we go. They work together, and it's absolutely side by side. The side draft and those the front to rear draft as well is working perfectly for the bottom line and the outside line. I think they're listening to the commentary, George. They're absolutely getting this nailed on. Did someone say that the outside line here can often be faster? I think we did. I think we did. And we're starting to see that. And it is now a Blake v. Blake in the lead. Both Blakes. Oh no, one of the Blakes is ahead of Buerger. It's not the one that Buerger is worried about, but the one he is worried about, Lucas Blake, he's up 5 places already, John. So any talk about being overtake being difficult, and Lucas Blake in for a tough race, he's just completely thrown the commentators under the bus once again and really beginning to dislike him.
That's what we expect here. You know, by the end of the season, I don't think we really like anyone who's out on track. But I tell you, the action has been absolutely fantastic. Boone Blake did actually open an opportunity a few moments ago to tuck in front of Lewis Buerger and really throw his brother to the wind, so to speak. Lucas, who would have been out there a couple of positions behind, he's got another opportunity to maybe do so in a couple of laps' time. Depends how well they get through these turns, John, how well they get through the banking section. The title light definitely did work. But here's the lineup as it is right now. Buerger has got Damien Coates and Llewellyn. That's the top 3 in that first line. Then Matthew Searles in there as well. And then, of course, in the second line, you're looking at the moment, Boone Blake, who's got another opportunity to maybe slide in front of Buerger. Not quite the overlap that he needs. Lucas Blake's in behind there. And then, of course, Wade Georgeson, Bradley Austin. Those are your 4 top in each of the rows at the moment. These guys are going to be racing like this for a while. We're just hoping, John, that once we get up towards the point where the tyres start to disappear, that no one makes that small mistake on the bank here. Going to send you up to the top, and it could rapidly send you down to the bottom and into the main path.
Oh yeah, really good. I tell you, there'll definitely be drivers in there that are hoping that one of the cars has a bit of an issue with the tyres, so they can all pit for free under a yellow flag. And he's taking the lead. He's hung him out to dry. It's Blake v. Blake for the lead of the race. The brothers Blake are getting the job done. Buhagiar and now finds himself effectively in third place, although has Boone Blake left Lucas hung out to dry. Are they going to get the come back? No, they're not. Lewis has now got a car in front of him, and it is Boone Blake who is leading the way. So we've got Blake leading both lines here, George. This could not have played any better into Lucas's hands. What an absolutely incredible start over 12 laps. It's absolutely wild. He's already up, what, 6 places? And they're now leading the way. And Lewis Buhagiar is boxed in by Blake, and he's chasing one of them for the championship. So it's not ideal for him. As the outside line is now flying round the outside once again. Who doesn't love Talladega, George?
Oh, this is fantastic. Once that outside line gets it absolutely right, there's an opportunity for overtakes. It's exactly what we've seen. Lucas Blake will probably be taking that opportunity in a few moments' time. Georgeson still pushing. He wants to take a position away from Boone Blake as well. Oh, that's very, very close. So we've had a momentary dropout by Lewis Buhagiar. We'll be back in a few moments' time. I don't think this is the terminal here. No, we are still go at the moment, but Lewis Buhagiar has disappeared. He's out. He's had a disconnect. Lewis Buhagiar gone from the race as it is right now. He may rejoin a little bit later on, but that is it for Buhagiar, and his chances of a win here were looking a little bit dicey, but I tell you, that has put a real pin in it today. What a disaster for the number 18 car. It does allow Georgeson to get up into that inner line ahead of Boone Blake. He's actually done a number on Lucas Blake. He's got Bradley Austin behind him now. This has all gone topsy-turvy, John, at this point, with Lewis Buhagiar having that disconnect.
Yeah, that is absolutely brutal. What a race he was having as well. Doing everything he could do to keep himself in the championship hunt. He had himself up at the front strategically, sitting in second place, bump drafting the cars. Oh, and that's a little bit loose. And that's how easy mistakes happen at Talladega. George did mention when the tyres go off. We'll talk about Lewis in a second. When the tyres go off, oh, those little wibbles and wobbles on the way through the banking, they are absolutely magnified. If I was a betting man, I would say within the next 6 laps we may see El safety car come out to play. But yeah, Lewis Buhagiar, that is absolute heartbreak for him. Got the first part of his job done, which was to qualify ahead of his championship rival, and for whatever reason he is out of the race. Yeah, absolutely gutted for him. Started up in third place and he is out, down 10 spots now.
Oh my goodness, we are in the midst of Schrodinger's NASCAR rearing its ugly head again. Wade Georgeson, I will never get that name right. I apologize to Wade. I will never get that right. This is the problem with having my first name as George. All I see is George. Darn these egotistical commentators. It's just the way it is, unfortunately. But Wade Georgeson is now experiencing the Schrodinger's NASCAR, not to the same level of terminality that we've seen Lewis Buhagiar suffer from today. Lucas Blake, of course, is the man in the lead of the championship. He's over 400 points. He's over 80 ahead of Lewis Buhagiar. So losing out on this round and getting no points for it is a huge blow to the potential championship win in Season 1 of the Tasman Racing League Oval Series. With only 3 rounds to go after this as well, there may not be enough for Lewis Buhagiar to make a championship title reach towards Lucas Blake. You can see him there in the red and the black car on the outside line, currently leading the second pack at the moment. In the meantime, Georgeson from Coates, from Jack Kelly Reid, who is in the mix here in 5th position now and also up 5 positions.
Take myself off mute. Yeah, love to see the progress from Kelly Reid. And I tell you what, Lucas Blake, this completely changes the outcome. Or sorry, this completely changes his view of this race. Any decisions that he was planning on have now going to go completely the opposite way because his championship rival is out. He needs to take a lot less risks to make sure he finishes ahead of Lewis, because Lewis is absolutely gutted that he's out. But yeah, it certainly does change the complex of the race. As far as Lucas Blake is concerned, championship leader, currently running in third. He's got his brother joining him out there at the front, and he's got Johnson ahead, Austin and Coates behind him. I mean, he will obviously be going for the race win because he is a racer, but again, it completely changes the lay of the land as far as his decision making goes, because his main championship rival is not in the race. He is out. Boone Blake taking the lead. Johnson and Lucas Blake in third. Coates, Austin. Then Kelly Reid. Come on, Jack Kelly Reid. You owe me a win. We've got Matthew Searle in 7th, Hutchins and Hutchins 8th and 9th, and Williams running in 10th. Yes, George, that's right. I'm throwing him under the bus. He's owe me a win. Come on, Jack Kelly Reid. Let's see if you can bring one home at Talladega. We would love it.
We are so not that far from any kind of bias here in the commentators box. You know, we know how it is. That's just the way it is. But, you know, we like to choose sides. We pick favourites. We do all that. That's an important part of being a commentator, as John well knows why he exercises his right to do so, maybe more often than others. But definitely worth the listen. Get your opinions in there as well. Let us know in chat. Is John right? Is he wrong? His name's John Wright, but I think we'll leave the juries out on that one. We'll see at the end of the season how right he has been or how wrong he has been. We'll take a percentage statistic. In the meantime, the second row has disappeared, and Boone Blake is still leading from Georgian, from Coates, from Kelly Reid. Lucas Blake fits back in 5th position in this, and that leaves Bradley Austin and Matthew Searle in a bit of an awkward place. Also, welcome into chat, NYC, saying not racing tonight, but Booans. Excellent. And we've also got Lusek in the chat. Let us know if you've got any questions. Tell us who you think is going to win today's round at Talladega. We're 19 laps into this race with a whole bunch more to go. And Boone Blake finds himself in the lead of this one, up 5 positions. He was telling us he does like a little bit of Talladega. He's a bit of a fan of this place.
It's hard not to be. I was just clocking the fastest lap coming in there. I was mentioning earlier the difference between the slipstream top end speed when you're surrounded by cars. Fastest time in qualifying, 54.849. Fastest time in the race, 50.968. 4 seconds quicker. That is the difference with having cars around you, and that is why it's so important to stay in the slipstream, John.
Oh, big moment here. We're going to go 3 wide now as Boone Blake get it slightly wrong on the exit. Oh, no. There's contact. Oh, he's completely demolished Bradley Austin. Safety car comes out immediately, as we expect. There's chaos on the field. We knew we weren't far away from it, and all it took was a little bit of movement there. 3 wide into the banking corner. Boone Blake taps the rear end of Bradley Austin. Around he goes, and that is a massive accident there. We'll get some replays up in a few moments' time, but we are now under safety car, and the race is neutralized on lap 20. Oh, John, we said it was a matter of time. Unfortunately, Boone Blake was the man who kicked that all off today. Very, very unfortunate, but that is how it goes.
I did, and it's one of those that I didn't want to necessarily get right, but I did say on lap 14 we're going to be 5 or 6 laps away from a potential safety car when the tyres started to go off. Boom, bang on lap 20. Drivers off into the wall. Yellow flag. They're going to get reset, and I think we're going to see a few cars coming into the pit.
Yeah, we
actually, I think
will.
what else we could do, George, if only at this point in time we could get a driver's perspective, find out what's going on in the driver's minds at the moment. We can't quite do that. We could get Lewis Bahadja in, though. We'll see what he's got to say.
We certainly can.
Lewis,
yeah, welcome in.
Yes.
Hey, boys.
Well,
there he is. There he is. Lewis, right, first off,
we're not a fan of netcode here.
Wrong?
We're not a fan of netcode here.
I don't even know what happened. I was just driving, then all my screens went black. It's like my PC just turned off, and that was it. But at least it didn't run out of fuel, so.
This is true. Just run out of electricity. So there we go.
Yeah.
Somebody not pedaling hard enough on the dyno down under.
I might have to go feed the dog another bone or something to keep the treadmill going.
Keep the hamsters going, yep. So, well, Lewis, while we've got you in then, so what's going on through the driver's mind now? We're 20 laps deep. You know what the tyre wear's like there. We're seeing a couple of cars coming into the pits, but a few of them have decided to stay out. What is your thoughts on the safety car at this point in the race?
Oh, it's a bit of an awkward time. I think that if we get a another safety car, I think a one stop's definitely doable. It's going to be very tight, so maybe we see a lot of them rolling in now. So, yeah, it could be a one stop. It probably more like a two stop, I'd say.
Yeah, trying to get fuel from here to the end of the race is going to be exceptionally difficult. Oh, as there is Bradley Austin. Oh, he almost got the full 360. Oh, and he takes a big hit on the side panel there. I think he's saying he took his hand off the wheel to swipe sweat off and flicked a money shift. Oh. Yeah, and that is a fair bit of money that's going to be spent in the garages there. They are all, we've got somebody already on their way out. Everyone's going to get waved back into the previous running order before we start again. But at the moment it is Matthew Searle that is leading the way. There's some onboard shots from Rob Tilley as well. Now is he just... Oh, that's just from a replay. There we go. That's him just pulling the damaged car into the pits. So, yeah, so as we've heard from Lewis, potentially a one-stop if you can do enough fuel saving. Oh, look at that view. The absolute terror of doing this in real life. It's just absolutely incredible. It's one of those, George, isn't it? Because you lose in NASCAR, you just absolutely got no idea what physics and your opponents are going to do to your car while you're floundering like a fish in the middle of the track. It's quite an experience.
All you have to do is go to YouTube and type in NASCAR crash. Right, Lewis? I'm sure you've seen your fair share.
I've seen my fair share. I've seen a fair share, and I've been involved in quite a few at Talladega and iRacing. So yeah, it's quite scary.
Sure is. We'll get some more views.
Yeah, the
hardcore
Menards in the rookie leagues round here. Oh.
Draft Masters.
Sorry, on you go, George. Draft Masters, that's the one. Draft Masters, yes, that's. Woo! If you know, you know. If you don't, it's best not leave it alone. Don't touch it. Draft Masters is crazy. It's good fun.
Oh, it's great fun.
Oh, late dip in. Why did Searle do that?
Yeah, I'm not sure. So Searle has just come into the pit, so he was momentarily leading, but now obviously he'll drop way back in the field as a result. We're still waiting on Llewellyn, Austin, Tilley, and Buaja. Well, obviously you're not going to come out of the pits anytime soon, but Tilley, Austin, and Llewellyn to come out of the pits, and we're obviously still waiting for the safety car to end. I think we might be ending this lap by the looks of it, John. The safety car lights are out, so it looks like we are going to be going racing in a few moments' time. Any further final questions for Lewis before we get back into the racing action?
Yeah, Lewis, how did you find the start there? I mean, qualifying-wise, you got a good jump on Lucas Blake, your championship rival, and up at the front, that bottom line did look to be fairly consistent until Blake snuck himself in front. But until you had that discount, how was the race going for you, do you feel?
Yeah, I feel like we're in a pretty good spot relatively. Like, when the engine temperature started getting a bit warm, got to the lead there and cooled it right down, and then it was actually perfect timing when Boone jumped back in front, because that's when the engine was cool, so I was happy to just save a bit of fuel and sit in the dirty air. And it's just the way the ball rolls. Like, super speedways, effectively, it doesn't matter right up until lap 55, maybe even lap 58 tonight, so just survive and get to the end.
Indeed. All right, well, we have a couple of corners to go. Thank you very much, Lewis, for jumping in and having a quick chat with us. Shame we won't be speaking to you after the race, but there's always next round, of course, round 8, and we'll, I'm sure, see you back for that one.
Definitely will, boys. See you later.
Great. Thank you, Lewis.
Take it easy, Lewis.
Dear, oh dear. Yeah, so we knew that it was coming, and it did happen. We are literally a few hundred meters away from the beginning of this race, and I'm going to give John the chance to give us a bit of a restart on this one, because it's going to get spicy and these drivers need to have the precision. Here's the order before we jump over to John. It is Lucas Blake, Boone Blake, Jack Kelly-Reid, Damien Coates falls to 4th, with George Sunham 5th, and Jared Williams in 6th. Let's go racing.
Indeed, there is the eager beaver with the green flag. He's going to give that away. The safety car is in. It's Blake versus Blake, the potential rolling roadblock up at the front, and there we go. Oh, Llewellyn Llewellyn with a meatball flag, Austin with a meatball flag as well. That's why they're still in. So they're going to be back in the pits. That's a whole lot of damage they've picked up. They've not got themselves repaired. They've come back out. They're still in there getting repaired. It is Blake. It's no longer Blake v Blake up at the front because Jack Kelly Reid is absolutely flying. He has got a jump on Boone Blake in second place, and he is pushing Lucas Blake to victory. Although here comes the second line once again. Beautiful stuff. Damien Coates getting himself involved as well, finding himself back up in the top 5 with Wade Johnson just on his outside line. Second line not quite getting it done. We almost got a 3 wide there with Damien Hutchins, sorry. Trying to throw himself into the mix as well. Matthew Serrell down at the back of this group. Running well. The outside line just needs to bite the bullet here and become one line. That's, yeah, they're too far behind here. There's a nice big gap there. If that outside line drops in, yep, you can see the gaps that they're leaving. And I tell you what, Lucas Blake and Jack Kelly Reid, they don't need a second invitation, chaps. If you all want to let them run away with it, they absolutely will. It's going to be Budweiser bye-bye at this stage. Jack Kelly Reid holding a good second place. The outside line really needs to become more coherent, or just, as I say, bite the bullet, get into the inside line. But here they come running again. We need the blue machine to catch up again. That is Damien Coates. Sorry, Wade Johnson, my apologies. Wade Johnson is there in third on that bottom line. And he is just staying level with that second row. And that second row there, George, they absolutely need to just tuck in here, or they need to get a fourth car to join them, because they're effectively racing 3.5 to 4 cars there, as the M&M machine is very much threatening to catch up, and that outside line is threatening to get dropped behind. Oh, big change there. Oh no, sorry, temporary connection issue for one of the drivers.
Oh joy. Yeah, look, it looks like Daniel Hutchins is the one that, no, sorry, the number 8 car behind. I'm not sure which car that is actually. We'll keep an eye on it, but currently sitting way off behind in terms of that second pack. There it is, the hybrid sim sport car right at the back there, not really present in this battle at all, and should be right up there. We do have the M&Ms jumping up and getting close, and right at the back of that second pack, it is Jared Williams for Phantom Sim Sports. A little bit of emotion there for Damien Coates as he's still holding it behind the car of Boone Blake, and they need to be tighter around these quarters. There's no way they're going to catch up if they're not maintaining a little bit of speed. And at this point, I do wonder if Boone Blake's just thinking, you know what, I'd actually almost prefer just to be the 4th man in the first pack right now.
Yeah, that could be a worthy strategy. And as Lewis has just said, these races at Talladega, the first 58 laps are effectively irrelevant. It's all down to that sprint at the end. You need to be in the position, you need to have the tyres, you need to have fuel, and you need to have an engine that hasn't been exploded by some over exuberant shifting like Llewellyn, who is out of the race with Austin in there as well. I'm just checking in the chat. Llewellyn confirming he did completely blow his engine. It is scattered over the infield and the pit lane as these drivers over the top. As George and I mentioned, they need to be a bit more coherent on the outside line. Oh, we've got another Schrodinger's NASCAR there as well. So we've got someone exiting the pits. Is that... Oh, yes, it is. It's Austin. So he's a lap down on Llewellyn, but Austin making it back out. So great for him. But Jack Kelly Reid and Lucas Blake, they've made a combined 15 overtakes so far, George, as we reached the halfway mark of the race. And for me, Curse of Talladega aside, the two of them are looking very good. We love these onboard wheel shots from Talladega, from Oval Racing. This is my favourite camera angle in the entire world, so I'm going to let George talk while I enjoy the view.
He's just going to watch and enjoy. Well, it gives us a good insight as to the positioning of the car and how it's moving around. You'd think you get that extra bit of side slip. Wow, look how close they get to Georgeson. Boone Blake is listening in, I'm sure, to the commentary, or maybe he's actually focusing on the race. That might be a good idea at the end of the day. But let's watch his line as we head through the first turn here. Turns 1, 2, one of the big banking corners here, and you can see the movement. Any slight input onto that steering wheel is going to move the car by meters on that banked part of the track. And now you can see the advantage of the side slip. You can see how Boone Blake will catch up just that little extra bit, but it's these corners that are so key. And the entry so important. He does get a nice entry onto this one. They're a lot closer as Georgeson has a little bit of a moment moving to the right-hand side. Absolutely terrifying stuff. but it's absolutely brilliant. Georgeson doesn't get the best of runs through there this time, and here we go. There's an opportunity for Boone Blake potentially to catch up a little bit through here. No, not quite yet. It's so good. We have a couple of chats, comments in chat as well. We've got the Wolf joining us saying, what a great time for me to join right as you guys talk about me blowing my engine into Narnia. Yes, indeed. A real shame to see you out of the race, Ryan, but yeah, we knew it was going to happen to someone. Unfortunately today, that was you.
That is the nature of the beast. And as I said at the start, it's not just about the tyres, it's not just about the fuel. It's not just about the steering, it is about keeping the engine and stopping it from blowing up. We heard Lewis say himself his engine was heating up, so he had to take the lead of the race, be at the front. And as soon as his engine started to cool down, someone got in front of him, so you know what, I'm fine. I'm going to go back in the slipstream. So at the moment, Blake is running in the fresh air. Jack Kelly-Reid, is not looking in his rear view mirror, I hope. That was a big wiggle on the outside line.
I wouldn't have wanted to be Damien Coates right there. You just see the wiggle and you're going, how many millimeters do I have between the two cars? And Boone Blake, yep, I have actually predicted something correctly for once in the Oval Series. He does pull in, gives up on the second line, he'll become the fourth man.
Yeah, absolutely. The smart move there. Definitely, as I say, there we go. I'm falling over my words in anticipation. We've got drivers that are trying to form that second line. They're just not quite doing it at the moment. Matthew Searle and the gang, they're still all within a tenth and a half, but we are starting to see the M&M machine almost lose the back end there. They are starting to spread out a bit. We've actually got Matthew Searle side by side with, I believe, Rob Tilley down at the back of the field. There we go, another invitation to the outside line, or sorry, just pulling out of the slipstream to let his engine cool down a bit. That is going to cost one of the Hutchins boys a bit of time, as Blake still leads Kelly-Reid, Jorson, Blake and Hutchins. So championship leader qualified in 8th position at the halfway mark of the race. He is on the podium. But we've still got half a race to go. 15 positions gained combined by the top two at the moment. Jorson starting in second, finding himself now down in fourth, and we've got Blake. We've got a Blake sandwich on the podium. Kelly-Reid is the driver sandwiched in between the two of them, and they're absolutely tearing away. I think Jack Kelly-Reid pretty soon is going to have to do something to get some fresh air into the front of his machine, because he has been in that slipstream for quite some time and he's completely sandwiched between the Blakes, and that outside line is absolutely fallen by the wayside, George. Hutchins, Tilley and Austin absolutely miles down. So Hutchins and Hutchins down at the back dropping off very quickly.
It was all caused by Georgeson. Yeah, Georgeson decided he wanted to try and form a second line. Damien Coates, Boone Blake did actually follow him out there, but then he runs wide, and I think that must have been an engine cooling maneuver. Georgeson has been in that inside line for so long now. He must have been thinking, okay, I've just got to get a little bit of clean, fresh, cool air into this engine. But you can see how far it's dropped him back. He's now down in P7 and right at the back of this chain. And yeah, the Kelly-Reid sandwich at the front, he is definitely the meat in between these two bits of Blake bread, so to speak, which works for one brother's initials, but not the other. Someone could think of a bread type that begins with the word L, and they're all catching up now to Bradley Austin, who may end up finding himself in quite the situation in not too long, because he's running a lot slower by himself out on track, and the lead pack is going to catch him up very, very soon. In fact, he has decided not gonna try and stay involved in this at all. He'll hold the outside line. Searle now attempting to form a second line, but no one wants to be his friend.
No one jumping on board, but he's made some good moves up to 6th position, and he is getting himself very much involved. It's a nice bit of side draft he's got going on. Jack Kelly-Reid is still furiously pushing Lucas Blake up at the front with Boone Blake just behind him, Coates and Jay Williams. Sorry, I'm going to be honest, I've absolutely caught my breath. I took a big gulp of tea, I hit the back of my throat. So a bit of a coughing fit, but there we go. We're breathing and we're running. Much like the cars, but yeah, they are starting to spread.
I don't know if we've ever heard anyone reference tea in a truck racing oval race, John. I think that might be a world first. And Lucas Blake pulls out of the lead of this race and allows Jack Kelly-Reid to take the top spot.
Strategy, methinks. Or, yeah, you know what? They might even just be working together. Maybe he realises just how blown Kelly Reid's engine is, but I wouldn't have thought that would be a strategy. Although Lucas Blake, he does have a bit of a free run at this. There's still a lot of the season left to go. But with his main rival not in the race, it does give him a bit of a free run as to where he wants to finish. And Matthew Serrell, he's certainly not finished. He was down at the back of the grid after the safety car. He now finds himself up in 4th position. He is absolutely flying at the minute. And if yeah, he's 3rd or 2nd in a couple of laps down, I'm not going to be massively surprised. It's been 16 laps since the race came to a very grinding halt for the safety car that we saw. We've been racing again for what, 14 laps now, so 36 laps in. We've got 24 laps left to go. Potential pit stop. We would say we had Lewis in the commentary box confirming a one-stopper that early was going to be difficult to maintain. So maybe that's something that Lucas Blake is thinking about. Although Lucas Blake has just dropped another positions to Hutchins. Williams goes past Serrell. But yeah, Lucas Blake, championship leader, is now down to 7th position.
I wonder if he's maybe done this to save a bit of fuel. Getting pushed out in front is probably going to cost you a bit of extra fuel. He's probably able to save a little bit now where he is.
Yeah, potentially. Yeah, using the slipstream, you can lift and coast a bit through these high banked corners to yeah, save yourself that little bit of fuel. You never know. I mean, well, you'll be there or thereabouts for the rest of the season, so we'll get him in the commentary box for an interview at some point before the end. He has been one of the most consistent finishers so far. That's why he is the championship leader. So yeah, I'm sure we'll find out. But Jack Kelly Reid, who owes me a race win, is leading the race at the minute. We've got Blake and Coates. Boone Blake following him, and Matthew Serrell still on that outside line, still using that side rat. I tell you, he is an absolute predator, George. I think Matthew Serrell absolutely cannot be, I mean, he can't be counted out of a race win in any race he takes part in. He is that quick. But he has got, I tell you, for a driver that hasn't done much oval racing, he's fairly on point with his strategy. He knows when to hold them, knows when to fold them, and he has got pace when he needs to. You can now see an outside line forming as they once again try and mount an attack on the lead group. The lead group just having a bit of a wobble there, and I'll tell you, who is that in the orange car? Sorry, car.
Orange
car? Jay Williams.
Jay Williams.
Yeah. Yeah, he is having an absolute worldie of a drive at the minute. If we stay on this line, look how pinned to this line he stays. There is no lateral movement from him, very little.
You're right.
Very nicely done. Look how solid he is on that line. That is how you need to drive Talladega in a group. Oh, as we see, who's
engine
that?
Cooling, guaranteed.
Yeah,
Damien Coates. Yep.
Damien Coates cooling the engine, and that is the lead pack now being overtaken, and Jay Hutchins on the outside line has got the lead once again, George. It's all chopping and changing, and you'll love it. We love Talladega. We should race this every week.
Absolutely right, yeah. Look, another Hutchins masterclass here, potentially. I mean, last time we had him in the commentary box, got a surprise podium result, and he was sort of a little bit shocked himself, just going, well, just stuff happened and I ended up in the right place at the right time. Well, he's ended up at the right place at the right time yet again, leading the second pack on what has been a worldly charge through the back of the pack. These guys were all behind. Georgeson is in there behind Jason Hutchins, and then, of course, it's Daniel Hutchins right in behind. So they've got a real opportunity here to mix up the top three and throw John's predictions for the season yet again under the bus for Jack Kelly Reid picking up a victory. But we shall see. It's not over yet. 20 laps still to go in this, and it is Jack Kelly Reid from Boone Blake, from Damien Coates, from Jared Williams in the first pack. Searle is in there too, as John indicated. Potential for him. Right now, we've got no one sitting off the back of the pack at all, other than, of course, our two people who have not finished, and one, a couple of people, that is Tilly and Bradley Austin, sorry, who are, of course, a lap down or more in this race, probably hoping for a safety car to bring them back in. But this has been the tightest packed field we have seen in the overall series at Tasman Racing League so far for season 1. That is set to be an absolute showdown when we get to the end. What can Jason Hutchins do in this second pack and leading it through to actually bring himself back in? Now that first pack have actually now just put the foot down that little bit extra in this, and not quite the lines they need to be taking in the second pack.
Yeah, they're a bit wayward there. You've seen in the back, you can see, is that Austin's car?
In the back,
Johnson, sorry, yeah, Johnson.
Just,
Johnson on the second row, just moving side to side to side when they're on that outside line, and they're really, again, no cohesion in that slipstream train. As you can see, just a big wobble once again. Although he's done well to hang on to him there, but they need that M&M's machine to motor on. That is a good run, actually. That is a very good run. And here comes Hutchins to support them as well. Hutchins needs to close up. Yes, he's done. I'll tell you what, he's got an absolute phenomenal run out of there. 13 might be unlucky for some, but it's certainly not at the moment for Hutchins. Even the curse, I think we've seen the curse of Talladega today with a couple of drivers, Lewis Bahadja and Ryan Llewellyn.
There goes Kelly Reid. He's moved up to the front of the second pack to block Jason Hutchins, and doesn't want them coming on by. Sees the speed that they're gaining on that first pack and decides to retain his lead by moving to the outside line. That's going to let Boone Blake get on through, and he's now leading the first pack on the inside.
Wow, it's all changed. Yep, strategy. Reid moving over onto the seemingly quicker outside line, and then very quickly getting left behind. That's great news for Williams, although just as I say that, Kelly Reid does get his nose back ahead of Williams. Yep, tight little battle there. We are now
he's been hung out to dry.
20 laps from the restart.
Oh, Jack Kelly Reid, he got hung out to dry there in between the two packs. Yep. Jason Hutchins had no intention at all of following him through the second line.
No, we really didn't. I was just checking there. Lucas Blake has just made back another position. But yeah, we are effectively 20 laps since we saw the safety car come out at 20 laps. So we know the tyres could well be a bit ropey for anyone that come in to take a pit. We know that a one-stopper is going to be nigh on impossible to get the fuel. And yeah, you can see everyone did come in. Yeah, the whole field did pit. Tilly and Austin left at one lap. They were in first. And Matthew Serrell, now I thought that was a mistake, but it is Matthew Serrell. If Matthew does it, it must be correct. That is the only way we can look at this situation. He came in a lap later than everybody. He's still...
That was brave by Boone Blake. I mean, he's cut across the nose of the 91 by about a millimetre, cut off the charge that was happening. Nearly let Damien Goetz get away with it, but he's actually switched back into the first position in the first pack. That was defensive driving. I've never seen that before in oval racing.
No, that is the way to do it. Just cut the nose clean off. Come up, mate, and we'll dance another day perhaps. Let's, and that is a good run. Tell you what, Wade Johnson's in a good position here. Serrell gets overtaken temporarily by Hutchins. We've got a Blake at the front of the pack, and we've got a Blake at the back of the pack, but it's Boone Blake leading and Lucas Blake chasing. He's dropped down to 9th position. Now I know his main championship rival is not in the race, but he is not planning on finishing in 9th place. Kelly Reid now finds himself back down there with him as well. So the drivers starting to the drivers up at the front starting to feel the pace on their tyres and potentially worrying about that fuel, because this thing is a gamble now, George, because Lewis said it's going to be very difficult to do this on a one-stopper. But just because it's very difficult doesn't mean it's impossible.
Yeah.
So you've got to recognise someone might be going for that strategy. You then have to strategise to counter for that just in case, and that could be what Kelly Reid and Lucas Blake are doing, because as you say, they've dropped themselves down to the back of the pack, a bit of lifting coast in the slipstream, and although if I was them, I wouldn't be keen to be at the back of the pack, given how quickly incidents escalate and reverberate down through the field. I would rather be up at the front, try not get involved in an incident at all, rather than being at the back when you've got to take some avoiding action. And can confirm, folks, These cars don't like sudden sharp movements.
No,
Can't
we
confirm.
learned all about that at Bathurst. In fact, we got a first-hand view of why these cars don't go around normal circuits. That it was pure chaos. I'd also say when the entry to the cave says "Do not enter," this has been cursed. This is maybe a little bit of a shout to those fools that opened Tutankhamun's tomb. Don't ignore the curse. Don't ignore the curse here. Don't tempt fate at a circuit like this. Certainly Lucas Blake not tempting fate at the moment. He's working hard to make his strategy work. I'm guessing, John, we're either going to be seeing some pit stops in the next 3 or 4 laps, or we're going to be seeing them right at the end of the race, which I would say would be abnormal. I'm guessing at this stage that fuel saving, getting through the next 13 laps of this race, which is only 13 minutes, bear in mind, that's probably the strategy to go for. Otherwise, how are you going to catch up? You need the rest of the field to actually come in, so you're hoping that everyone else has got the same amount of fuel and the same amount of tyres as you. Georgeson, try to have a little look around the outside. Hutchins, not able to make anything happen this time on Boone Blake, who continues leading from Damien Coates. We've got a worldly crazy battle all the way to the end with 12 laps remaining.
12 laps to go. I wanted to get a quick look. We'll see what the lap times are like on the next time around, and we'll see exactly how the tyres are holding up. As we've already seen, a 4-second difference. Yeah, so they're already 2 seconds slower at this. Lapping fresh tyres in the slipstream, the drivers will do this circuit in 50.9 seconds, 50.8 seconds. We're now seeing them in the 52s, so they're all moving at exactly the same pace in that pack. So the tyre wear is all going to be about the same. Who is doing the work on the fuel though? That is the real question. Boone Blake with a 53.0 to find himself up at the front of the field. He's got Coates, who is back up towards the front of the group once again, and he is running very well indeed, but he is now the driver in the slipstream cooking his engine, so he is going to need some fresh air pretty soon. We've got a prediction in chat. Big wreck inbound, Seeley Serral to get caught up in it.
This
Now,
man right here, Jay Nelson, okay,
yeah.
He returns. The man who predicted that Searle would be in the wall in the next 5 laps, and it happened 2 laps later. He is just made. He's our resident medium, I think.
Indeed, yeah. The Mystic Meg of Tasman Racing League. I wonder, yeah, how was it? We'll have to know Jay Nelson. I'm trying to think. Is it Narwar? I will Google that interviewer. He is very interesting. But yeah, we've got to know, how is it you know that these things, basically? How do you know Matthew Serral?
Yeah.
Are you his best friend? Have you actually sat in the room with him, currently blowing in his ear and tickling his nose with a feather duster to try and put him off? Or what's going on? Where do these predictions come from?
A bucket of Gatorade.
Yeah, and do you have 6 numbers, please?
Yeah, 6 numbers, please. Yeah, I'll grab 7, actually. I'll grab a Powerball as well, please. Thank you very much.
Yes. Yeah, not to be too greedy, but if we're going to win, we might as well take the whole lot. Where
exactly.
is Lucas Blake, speaking of wins?
Well,
so yes, we both went for it there. Lucas Blake in 9th and Matthew Serral is in 7th place.
I don't know what's going on here now. We're 9 laps from the end of this race. No one has come into the pits as yet. They're all trying to play the game. The lap times are dropping like a stone in water at the moment. Lucas Blake, who was leading, finds himself right at the back of the inside pack. Jay Hutchins still finds himself technically leading this race. 9 minutes to go. There's no time at all. Georgeson now makes the maneuver. Oh, that is very, very close between the two. Georgeson moves over, and Jay Hutchins covers it off beautifully.
Yeah, it really does. Oh, no. Wow.
Yeah, I know.
Schrodinger's neck code there once again. That is terrifying. That is terrifying, George.
I feel like we have actually opened
8 laps to go.
We have ventured into the Great Pyramid. We are currently discovering Tutankhamun's tomb. That's what this feels like right now, and I feel like we're tempting fate. Even here in the commentary box, this curse, if it's going to land, it's going to impact the entire course by the looks of it. And we are set for an incredible end to this race. Georgeson has got the Schrodinger's NASCAR. Jay Hutchins is defending to get this race win. Boone Blake wants it. Damien Coates started on pole position, feeling robbed at the moment of getting that potential P1. Lucas Blake way back in the field as Tilley and Bradley Austin, who are behind a lap, take the outside line and get away from the rest of the 8 or 9 people on track who are all fighting for position. Searle technically in 5th at the moment, but 6th overall. This is going to be a big finish at Talladega. And can Jay Hutchins hold on? Here come the 2 back markers. They're making progress.
Yeah, they really are. They are hanging on in there. Any safety car will see Tilley. Could you imagine we see Tilley win this race here? Safety car on the next lap. They come back out with 2 to go. Tilley flies through the field and wins it after being a lap down at the 50 lap race. 50 lap mark. These things can happen. This is Talladega. This is absolutely beautiful stuff. The outside line going for it once again. That is a big push that they've got going on. We've got just over 5 laps left to go, so this is when the race really starts, folks. And it's going to start on 30-lap-old tyres and not... Oh, they're all piling into pits.
And there's someone...
Oh, it's a crash.
We've had a crash as well. It's a pretty minor one. It looks like it might have been... No, I'm not sure who that was. We'll try and get a little look at that one, but a whole bunch of people pitting. That's it. This is the trigger. And guess who is still out there? It's Searle in the lead from Lucas Blake. Are we surprised? No, we are not. This is fantastic.
No. Yes, indeed it is. We saw a big bounce on the wall there on the way in as well for Hutchins on his way into the pits. Lewis Buhagiar was in the chat, he did say. And look, there you go. Nobody's taking tyres. It's just a splash of fuel to make it to the end of the race. And if they are taking tyres, they're only taking 2 on the outside. Oh, there was almost contact. Woo, there was almost contact on the pit exit there. That was very close. As we see another car coming into the pits, it's Matthew Searle, it's Lucas Blake, it's Boone Blake leading the way, and it's Jack Kelly-Reid that it finds himself in 4th place, just behind Boone Blake. And in fact, these 2 that we're seeing on
Damien
screen
Coates
are actually...
has just cooked it on the exit of the pit lane. Sorry to interrupt you, John. Yeah, that is Damien Coates. He's cooked it completely. And he's put himself way out of the running for this one. Qualified on pole position. Now in 9th with 5 laps to go. Bradley Austin is, quote-unquote, leading the pack, but he's 5 laps down at the moment with Searle and Blake, your current leaders by some distance. And there's going to be no slipstream for Boone. He's 37 seconds behind. So the only hope for the rest of the pack is that Lucas and Searle actually pit. But they may not. They've been saving fuel. Oh, no.
Yeah, it looks like... Oh, hold no, on. They're coming in.
We're totally wrong. Coming in. Yeah, they're both coming in. This is it. So, the critical moments ahead of us. Jack Kelly-Reid is 2nd. Boone Blake is 1st. This is the pack that both Searle and Lucas Blake will be trying to beat, but I get the feeling they're not going to have done enough because they were too far back in the pack to be ahead, but they'll have 1 lap fresher tyres, John, as they head out of the pits. Let's keep an eye. Here they go. No, they're in. Where is... These 2 are coming around the 3rd corner and back onto the main straight here. And we're out. Here we go, John. This is where it all stitches its way back together. Where are these 2? Oh, they're not going to be ahead. What a masterclass by Searle and Lucas Blake. Genius moments. They're miles ahead, but they won't have the pace until they get round turn 1, 2.
Indeed, yeah, they're going to need to be pulling up pace, and I tell you what, that is Blake and Kelly-Reid. They're already up to pace, so they are going to get close. You can see that gap is now down to 3 seconds as Searle and Blake cross the line and get themselves back onto track. It is Blake v Blake for 2nd and 3rd, but it's Kelly-Reid v Blake but 3rd and 4th. To be fair, it's Blake and Kelly-Reid versus Searle and Blake at the moment. And they've got that back marker came out as well. Just a quick update too. Rob Tilley did pick up a black flag, so he's had to come in and serve a drive-through penalty. I think he locked up on the way into the pit lane and was going a bit quick. So he's been given a drive-through penalty, so that's put him another lap down. But Searle, Lucas Blake, Boone Blake and Jack Kelly-Reid all battling for the lead battling for the win now with 4 laps to go.
Wow.
The lap times, you can see there, the out laps, 1 minute 21, 30-second time loss almost. For taking a pit stop, George, and it's brought these top 4 back together with who is that involved there as well?
That is Tilley. So that is Tilley, and now here we go. Boone Blake. Massive punch to the back of Lucas Blake, gives him a whole bunch of speed, but nearly sends him loose. Searle has got ahead of Tilley, and of course you've got Jack Kelly-Reid now in there behind Tilley, forming another 2-pack situation. Looks like Kelly Reid's going to try and take the outside pack. He's going to go with the Blakes. And Searle is being hung out to dry on the inside with no one to help him. Tilly is not going to be much help in this, I suspect. But keep an eye. I think Searle is going to lose out the lead of this race. Lucas Blake back into the lead with his brother Boone and Kelly Reid right there with another 2 laps to go in this race. How exciting is this as they maneuver around the first corner and jostle for position?
Indeed they do, yeah, and they're going to want to keep the jostling to a bare minimum, at least for another lap, lap number 60. Yes, anything goes. It's NASCAR. Contact rules, you say? No, contact rules. Yeah, you're looking at it the wrong way around. Blake v Searle v Kelly Reid, the top 4 at the moment, and Lucas Blake putting on. It has to be said, George, we're going to have to run out of superlatives. He is the championship leader for a very, very, very good set of reasons, and it just comes out today again. Solid driver, knows when to hold them, knows when to fold them. He dropped right to the back of the pack 10, 15 laps ago. Suddenly 2 laps to go. He is the front runner. He's the main contender. He's got the free air up at the front, and more importantly for him, he's got his brother behind him. Much horse trading do we think is currently going on between the Blake brothers. Boone saying to Lucas, well, if I get some preference, you can have the race win and I'll defend. But yeah, no.
Yeah, they're trading chores at this point.
Window.
Oh, momentarily there. Lucas Blake has a bit of a Schrodinger's moment. He's going to pull to the outside line. Boone might get a little bit of overlap here. No, he doesn't. Searle in for his first potential podium of the season here. Jack Kelly Reid in the mix as well. These two need to form an outside line, I guess, if they're going to make any attempt at overtaking here. We are coming up to the final lap of this race. A couple of final comments from you before we take it across the line. This is going to be close.
Oh, it's going to be unbelievably close here. Jack Kelly Reid still definitely in the hunt for a podium. He would love nothing more than to get it. And there is the white flag. We're on the last lap. It's Blake v Blake up at the front. And Jack Kelly Reid is going for it around the outside of Matthew Searle. Has he gathered enough pace and momentum along that across the start-finish line to take it out of turn number 1? He does need that back marker if he's going to make the stick to join him on that outside line. The 2 ahead. Oh, the 2 ahead going side by side, George. We're getting a grandstand
they're
finish
covering
here.
it off.
Blake v Searle.
Oh, this is going to be brilliant. Searle in between the 2 Blakes. Boone Blake went to the outside line to block the charge of Kelly Reid. Searle loses it again, and it's going to be Damien Coates on the outside, but we don't know who's going to go to the line.
Whoa.
We're going to get an absolute photo finish here. 3 wide, 4 wide. Damien Coates slightly ahead at the moment. Searle coming in 2nd place, and that's going to be, I think it's going to be Kelly Reid, maybe. Searle has got it. Searle has got a race win on the board, followed by Boone Blake and Kelly Reid. Lucas Blake loses out in that final 4-way battle. We didn't know who was going to get it until right at the end there. But that is a photo finish by absolutely nothing on track. We'll check the intervals. 0.015, 0.026, less than 1/10 of a second separating the top 4 at the end of this race. That is brilliant.
That is Talladega, George. Only here at Talladega will you get race close as that finish. You asked me at the start of the programme why I love this course so much. There you go. In a nutshell, there we go.
Now we know.
Yeah, Jay Nelson in the chat saying he can't believe he got it wrong. Good finish. That was a great finish by the drivers there. And Matthew Searle, absolutely unstoppable on the road tracks, and he is bringing home race wins here. More importantly, Boone Blake getting the bragging rights from the Blake family, putting his championship leading brother firmly in his place of 4th, and Jack Kelly Reid finds himself back on the podium once again. The win is coming, Jack. I apologise I've cursed you so badly. And there's Matthew Searle just pulling us some donuts on the start finish line. Look, he's even got the side road champion on his livery. Yeah, when you're good, you're good. And I tell you what, this driver has some serious talent, and it transfers across road and oval. Yeah, I'm really starting to dislike him, George.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. I love him more and more. We'll make sure we've got some dissonance here in the commentary box. He's proving that if he can do that on track and go from road to oval, I can do that in the commentary box. That's the key. I'm proving that to myself today. Oh, that is absolutely wild. We'll see you back in a moment for the race results, and then we'll have a chat to a few of the drivers. I'm absolutely buzzing right now. Let's take a look at the final results. The top 4 actually separated by more than a tenth, but the top 3 weren't. 0.016 between Searle and Boone Blake. Jack Kelly-Reid in 3rd position. Lucas Blake finds himself over there in 4th position, followed by Jason Hutchins, what could have been today, but the pit stop undid him, puts him just ahead of Jared Williams at the end by not a lot either. Then it's Wade Georgeson in 7th for the 707. Then Daniel Hutchins. Damien Coates finishes, unfortunately, after qualifying on pole position. Had a spin at the exit after the 2nd pit stop in this race and put himself way out of contention. Rob Tilley had a little bit of an issue, of course, running into Bradley Austin, who was spun around early on. Bradley Austin finishes behind him by some distance, but as a result of that contact initially, it was doing very well in this race. Ryan Llewellyn blew up his engine, and Buerger sadly had a disconnect from the server. John, before we jump into our interviews, give us a little summary of what we see at Talladega today while I get myself ready for these interviews.
So today, Talladega, folks, in a word, woo! Would sum that one up, I would say. Talladega, very much doing Talladega things. George loved that. The first safety car was absolutely right on cue, and I did think we were going to see a second safety car, and I'm sure a lot of the drivers did as well, but that strategy really went out of the window when we didn't. And the drivers had to take that late splash and dash for the fuel. Absolutely incredible driving. Lucas Blake making up 4 places on quali. He's going to strengthen his lead at the top of the championship, but Kelly-Reid, Boone Blake and Matthew Searle, what a race the 3 of them have had. Of course, Lewis Buhagiar cruelly ejected from the race when he's famous for running out of petrol. He ran out of electricity, and absolutely gutted to see him not finish. And as well, Ryan Llewellyn, he blew his motor, as well as Bradley Austin out as well. Rob Tilley picking up a penalty on the final lap to see him drop behind Damien Coates, who was right up in the top of the pack. But the curse of Talladega absolutely bit a few of our drivers on the back end, but it certainly blessed a few of them as well. Matthew Searle and Boone Blake, Jack Kelly-Reid, phenomenal drive. And yeah, it was good to see Jack in the commentary box. He still owes me a race win. I will be probing on that one very shortly, George.
Give him some props. He's on the podium. And yeah, 13 drivers today. The 13th got the unfortunately, the real short end of the stick and probably picked up that ancient Indian curse today, Lewis Buerger. Right, we are ready for our interviews, so we are going to jump into it now. First up is going to be Matthew Searle. Welcome into the commentary box for what I believe is the first time you're making an appearance on the podium. And for the first time, mate, you have jumped straight up into a race win today. Talk us through how you're feeling. You've come from the Rose Series, you've entered the Oval Series, and amongst some big fans of this kind of racing. To take a win here must feel incredible.
Yeah, Talladega is probably my favourite track, and to get the win here, yeah, very happy. Obviously, great race and electrifying finish, which we usually see, but yeah, ecstatic.
That was absolutely wild. I mean, it was basically a photo finish, 0.016, really impressive. Before I hand you to John, tell us a little bit about the strategy. It was only you and Lucas Blake stayed out for that extra lap. You actually did that as well under the first safety car.
Yeah, so I was thinking that maybe there might be a chance after that first safety car to only one stop. So I came in again to just take a little bit of extra fuel, but it sort of became clear after a few laps that I'd be just a little bit shy. So yeah, I had that extra fuel so I could stay out an extra lap, and it gave me a better run all the way to the end.
Fantastic. John, we'll hand to you for a couple of questions for our race winner.
I don't know about a couple of questions. I'm going to be getting a signed T-shirt because that was a phenomenal drive, Matthew. Absolute incredible strategy. Just after the first safety car, we saw a couple of cars dropping down. How did you find the engine overheating here? Because we spoke to Lewis briefly after he disconnected. He was saying there was a couple of points in the race he had to move just to get some fresh air into his machinery. How did you find managing the 4D chest that is Talladega, which is your tyres, the other drivers, the fuel, and your engine heat management, so to speak? How did you find managing all that? Because we did see you drop down the field at one point and, yeah, came roaring back, so pretty well done.
Yeah, engine management actually played a much bigger part than I thought it would. I think it might just be something to do with these cars, but they seem to overheat a lot faster. Just before the safety car, when I was pushing Brad, like my engine temperature really rocketed up quite quickly while I was pushing him. So I did want to stay at the back as we after that first caution, just to maintain a little bit of fuel saving and just keep the engine temperatures down a little bit. So definitely something that I had to work with, but for that final sprint,
Yep, and I have to ask, and I'm really hoping to get the answer that I'm looking for here. I could fall on my own sword. You drive road races, Matthew, and you drive oval races. I've often maintained that oval racing is much more difficult than road racing, especially someplace here where you've got to do your tyres, your fuel, your thing. As an expert, I think we can safely say, in both disciplines, which one do you think poses the most challenges for getting to the end of a race?
For getting to the end of the race, it's definitely ovals. Just avoiding incidents is probably one of the hardest parts, especially on super speedways like this, Daytona. Road circuits, not so much, but I mean, they're both sort of, difficult in actually getting to the end. I actually prefer oval racing to road racing.
Wow.
Yeah, it was good fun. And
Go ahead,
yeah,
John.
told you, John.
I'll make a comment. I'll make a comment afterwards.
Yeah. And what have we got coming up next? I tell you what, I've been all about the Talladega. We've got Martinsville coming up next week, Matthew. How are you feeling ahead of that one?
I've never raced it before, except for maybe on one of the old NASCAR Thunder 2004 games from way back in the day. But it's obviously a really small track, so there'll be a lot of incidents. I think it'll be a great spectacle for everyone.
Indeed.
Yeah, I think it will. I will hand you back to George to say goodbye, but Matthew, absolutely phenomenal drive and huge congratulations on the strategy and the race win there. To win by less than a quarter of a half of a tenth of a second after 60 laps. It's quite some feat, my friend. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I think we're going to have to start calling this the Church of Tasman Racing League and echoing the footsteps of maybe Scientology or something. We're converting people by the masses at the moment, I tell you. But great to see that. And Matthew, huge congratulations on that. That was a brilliant, brilliant race to behold. The strategy was there. You picked up your first race win. Big congratulations from us. We'll see you back for Martinsville.
Can't wait, and I'll be there on Wednesday. Remember that, John?
Matthew, get yourself back into the podium at least a couple more times this season. I am a fan of yours even more now. Brilliant.
Thank
you. Thank you very much. All right, we're going to jump over to our next interview. It is going to be Boone Blake finishing in P2 today. And Boone, welcome into the commentary box. Mate, you've told us this has been a favourite of yours and you've been looking forward to this for a little bit. And that was a Talladega finish that we're not going to forget anytime soon, I think. So give us your view. He was right there for the race win, but just wasn't enough at the end. Oh, hopefully we'll get Boone in a few moments' time. Check your microphone setting, maybe, Boone, and hopefully we'll get you having some sound come in. Hopefully he's just rejoining. So give us a moment, ladies and gentlemen. There we go, Boone. We can hear you now. Welcome in, and hopefully you heard my question.
Well, I did hear you. I mean, morning excellence. You know, nobody can hang with my stuff. I'm just a big, hairy American second place getting machine. I mean, if you're in first, you're second. That's what my dad always used to tell me. You know. On a serious note, that was a ton of fun. It's the most fun that I've had in this league. That last lap, the whole race, I figured everyone was gonna have to come for 2 stops. Matthew was talking about 1 stop in it for a little bit, and my strategy the whole time, I don't know if you guys can tell from the broadcast, but I just wanted to get out at the pointy end of the field, put my foot down, lead some laps, run into the clean air so I didn't have to worry about the truck overheating so much, and not really concern myself with the fuel and just try to execute everything else that I could do, and it ended up working out for me. I mean, obviously it didn't entirely work out the way I exactly wanted it to. I would have liked to beat Maddie at the end, but you can't ask for a better chance than that, and you can't ask for a better finish. You can't ask for a better group of guys to run with. That was just a ton of fun.
Yeah, that was honestly something we haven't seen so far in this series. We've seen elements of it brewing all season long, but tell me about the fracas that happened right at the end there. You were right behind your brother. In fact, you gave him a quite the wallop on the rear end as you rejoined and they were getting up to speed. So you really gave him a chance against Matthew Searle. He ended up dropping back and finishing 4th place today. But at one point, you both diverged and you went to the inside and the outside. Was that an attempt to cover off? How much strategy was going through your head in that last little 4-way battle?
I mean, for about the last 5 laps, I knew what it was going to be, because when me and Jack came into the pits, I knew it was going to be the two of us trying to catch up to Lucas and Matthew at the end of the race, and we were probably going to have enough time for everything to equalize in the draft, and everyone was going to be more or less even for the last couple of laps. So my main concern for those last few laps was, one, just executing my pit stop, because obviously the green flag pit entry was chaos. We had a number of issues there for different people. I was fortunate enough to get through it clean. And then from there, my strategy on the last lap, I wanted to run with Lucas for as long as possible, just because we've raced together a lot. Obviously, we know each other better than I know the average driver in this series, so he's pretty reliable. But I knew I was going to have to betray him at some point, and he knew I was going to have to betray him at some point. We were talking about it. What I tried to do was to use the lapped Damien Coates car going down the backstretch as a little bit of a pick, so I could pull out on Lucas and try to take the lead while still having a car in front of me to use for a draft. But I pulled out a little bit too early to get behind Damien, and I think that let Matt get just enough of a run up my inside to get the eventual race win. And it also just doesn't help with how far down the track the starting line is at Talladega. At Daytona, that would have been a race I won, all I'm saying.
Absolutely right. John, we'll hand it to you for a couple of questions.
Indeed, yeah. I mean, the only question really, the most important thing, of course, Boone, is proving that once again you are the far superior of the Blake brothers, leaving Lucas firmly in your wake. It's just surely just an anomaly that he's leading the championship over yourself, and you'll be looking to put him firmly in his place and take that championship lead from him before the end of the season, I would assume.
I don't know if it's going to happen for me this season. I think I'm in a bit too much of a hole already, but it's certainly not been the season I would have liked to have. It hasn't really been tripping on rakes for me. It's more been tripping on landmines. So it's just a huge relief to get this one, obviously, to finish much further up the order than I've been finishing, regardless of how well I do in the race. And I just got to give a huge shout out to Matthew, obviously. Great driving there. Same with Jack and my right rear racing teammates, Damien Coates and Lucas Blake. Just a great group of guys to come out and race with. Everyone on the grid today was fantastic.
Yeah, and you did mention, one last question for me, you did mention there, and it's much like real life NASCAR, because the drivers and the engineers in real NASCAR, they all communicate, they work together, they work the strategy, and you're saying how much fun it was out there and how great it is to drive with drivers that you know, and even talking about the fact that you're going to have to betray one another, but still no one doing anything overly crazy, but everyone's still in it for themselves. Just give us another quick comment on just how good it feels to be able to race in a league where everyone is just genuinely in it for the win, but a good race as well. And that, what is the word I'm looking for? It's totally escaped me. It's almost as if it's 9 in the morning. But yeah,
it's
great to have that,
but it's fair.
Camaraderie.
I think is camaraderie. Yeah, it's amazing, because I run a lot of draft races are my favorite type of racing in all of iRacing, and I run a lot of official sessions, whether it be Carburetor Cup, Draftmaster, the longer official eNASCAR series. But it's a lot of the problems that you see in the draft track sessions in official iRacing is that people just don't care that much about racing clean. And for someone who really enjoys driving on the big tracks, I mean, Talladega is my favorite track in all of iRacing. It's just frustrating to go out there and repeatedly get wrecked and not have the run that I know I'm capable of. So just to have the chance to go and to race with these guys, and I mean, everyone's racing hard, everyone's making moves, but everyone wants to drive fair, and we're all showing what we're capable of. It's just, I couldn't be happier with how this has worked out.
Yeah, I would definitely say you should go back and watch the broadcast, because that was, yeah, just the race absolutely start to finish was incredible. We're going from Talladega. It may have a curse, but it's got plenty of open straights to stretch the legs. We've got Martinsville coming up next, Boone. How are you feeling ahead of that one?
I'm going to let you in on a secret. I do not own Martinsville. I have not driven Martinsville. Tracks like it I mean, the closest thing I've probably driven is USA International in the street stock, which shouldn't drive that much differently from this truck here. And it's, I like that. I like the short, tight paperclip-like tracks like that with a lot of banking on the short track. Helps you not wear the tires down so fast. So I like a banked short track more than I like a flat short track for sure. It should be fun, but I expect Martinsville to be an attritional race, and the way that this surprisingly was not.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting. Well, yeah, huge congratulations from me, Boone, and yeah, again, the undoubtedly the fastest of the Blake brothers. So it's good to see you putting Lucas back in his place, and I look forward to seeing you next week. And I'll let George giggle it and say goodbye as I piss off more of the drivers.
I was about to say, please stop stoking sibling rivalries, John. I know that this seems to be a bit of a modus operandi for you, but anyway, regardless, yeah, Boone, congratulations on the P2 today, man. It's awesome to hear you speak so fondly of the series that we've got racing here, especially today at Talladega. So thank you again for joining us in the commentary box, and we'll hopefully see you back in the commentary box at some point for another interview.
Thank you, guys. Hopefully I'll be back here next week.
Indeed. Great. Well, thank you very much. Right. Well, we've got one more interview lined up, ladies and gentlemen, and it is going to be Jack Kelly Reid. Not the first time we've had Mr. Kelly Reid, who's managed to avoid us once, got locked into the commentary box a second time. Now he's here a third time. So, Jack, welcome into the commentary box, mate. Great to have you here. Congratulations, first of all, on the third place run there. It could have been fourth very, very easily, but you were running super well all race. At one point, you dropped right behind the pack. You did pit a little bit earlier than Blake and Searle, but it certainly didn't turn into a disadvantage to you. So give us that race finish, which was a photo finish right to the end from your perspective.
Yeah, no, that was a good race. I just want to give Boone a shout out. That interview was absolutely amazing. So I don't think I'll top that. But that was a hectic race. I didn't know what the hell I was doing, really. I just sort of followed the leader, and I ended up being the leader at one stage, and yeah, ended up getting a bit short on fuel towards the end, which I wasn't sure if everyone else was or not, as I was leading a few laps. I don't think as many as Lucas, though. And
Indeed.
Yeah, it all sort of come together at the end, made it to the last lap, and I really felt like I should add that, but
well, I mean, you nearly had it. It was, yeah, 0.07 or so of a second. There was absolutely nothing in it. It could have gone anywhere. I mean, I think you found yourself on that outside line. And also, just a little note for interviews: just if you admit that you don't know what you're doing, you can play it off. You can lie a little bit. You can say, "Oh, it was all planned. Had this right from the beginning. I was going to finish at least in the top 3, and here we go." But no, honestly, at the end of the day,
this,
it could have been.
This is all new to me.
Well, honestly, you might find yourself back here again. John is very keen to see you on the top spot, and we certainly know you've got the pace for it. Whether you know what you're doing or not with strategy, you've certainly got the pace to do it. So I'll give it to John so he can give you a light of fire under you and get you in the mode for that P1.
Yeah, sounds good.
Jack, we need to have a chat here, right? Okay, it's just me and you. Nobody else. It's just me and you now. Jack.
Me and you, mate.
Where's my race win? This is why I love Jack. He's exactly the same as me. No strategy, no idea what he's doing, but he's more than capable of getting a race win, and he will get me a race win before the end of the season, as I predicted, won't you, Jack?
I think you had a race win coming,
Won't you,
and then you
Jack?
jinxed me. So I think that might have been more fun.
Good memory. There you go. I'm a fan. I'm a big fan of yours, Jack.
Indeed. Thanks very much, George. This is my part of the interview. Thank you very much. Yeah, but Jack, as the other drivers that had kind of alluded to the strategy, you were saying yourself, we mentioned it in the commentary box as well, and I did say to George, we're at the stage now, especially when we saw yourself, Boone and Matthew drop back. I'm thinking, oh, now are we going to see someone try the one stop? And that obviously was a bit of indecision that you had yourself there, thinking, oh right, well, we could be on for a one stop. Is someone else going to go for a one stop? So did the potential of other drivers doing a one stop, did that change your approach as we got past the 40-45 lap mark?
I think once I had made that first stop, I knew that I wasn't going to make it without another one. But I did want to just see how far I went. I think I had another lap or two of fuel. Could have went, but I just took the risk. I figured the guy ahead of me knew what he was doing, so he seemed to have all worked out there.
Yep, it really did. It really did. Yeah, if the leaders are going to do it, then yeah, follow suit just to cover them off to make sure. Yeah, exactly.
That's how you learn.
100%. And yeah, give us a quick chat. Give us a quick comment as well on. We heard from your other two podium protagonists there, just how good it is to drive in with such a solid group of drivers. There's no quarter given nor asked, but no one is pulling crazy draft master suicidal, let's wipe out 40 cars just for the fun of it type manoeuvres. So how much do you enjoy racing in this league with the drivers that we've got here?
It truly is a breath of fresh air. Like I've spent a bit of time in draft masters, and my safety ratings copped a bit of a hiding there. So yeah, this has been absolutely awesome. Couldn't be happier. It's a night of the week I look forward to. So definitely keen for next week.
Yeah, and just to mention, it was mentioned previously, and just so that everyone else at home can enjoy, this is the second week where I've actually turned up to commentate these races 24 hours early. I was here yesterday. And just to put that in perspective, these races start at 8:15 in the morning for me. And I was 24 and a half hours early for the race yesterday.
No joke.
So that's how keen I was.
Oh, you're prepared
for Talladega. So
yeah, he is prepared.
Yeah, Lewis runs out with petrol, and I can't tell the time. Is the long and short of it. But Jack, going into next week, Martinsville, 150 laps, a much shorter track, but with the banking this time. How are you feeling going into that one?
Yeah, not real sure about that. I haven't really done a competitive kind of short track race yet. Yeah, that's going to be a test, I think. You might see me at the back there for a little bit. Should work it out by the end.
That's it, Jack. Lull them into a false sense of security. I like it. But yeah, listen, congratulations on yet another podium, Jack. You are consistently bringing home the bacon, and I am absolute full cheerleader mode. Short skirt and pom-poms out for you getting a race win before the end of the season. So I can not just so I can say to George, I told you so. But that will be nice.
Oh dear. Mental imagery.
I'll get to that win, mate. I'll get to that win.
Yeah, mental imagery we did not need, but absolutely deserved. Thank you again. Jack Kelly, congratulations, mate, on your podium position today. Great talking to you in the commentary box, and we look forward to seeing how you go with the Yep, indeed. Yep, so thank you very much. Much appreciated. And we'll hopefully see you back in the commentary box at some point soon. All
right. Good day, mate. Take it easy.
Thank you very much. I have to admit, I look forward to so much in the Tasman Racing League. By the way, if you're watching on YouTube, go and check in the description. The Discord link is in there. Go and click that button, get involved. We're always looking for more drivers. If you want to get involved in the Oval Series and you think you're up to snuff, then come and get involved. Of course, the Road Series happening in parallel as well. Plenty more to come on the calendar. And the calendar for 2026, I'm sure Lucas is working on that. Wink. Nonetheless, what a fantastic day of racing here, John. Honestly, Talladega. Was I skeptical on oval racing up until this point? I'm not. I was sort of getting to the sort of 60-70% point. I think this might have thrown me right up to 95% though. What a brilliant day of racing at Talladega.
Yeah, 100%. This is what Talladega does. I mean, Lewis Behager did say as well when he jumped in, it's one of these races where it does all play out in the last 2 laps, but you still do need to make it to those last 2 laps. And seeing this pack of drivers make their way to the end, 1 safety car at Talladega in 60 laps is quite incredible. I'm sure all the drivers were praying or expecting a second safety car for that pit stop, but through things completely in the wind, and at the end we saw 0.5 of a second separating the podium. Now, I said it before and I'll say it again. Woo!
Fantastic stuff. All right, well, the race results up on your screen for the final time today. Round 7 now complete. 3 rounds ahead of us. It is Martinsville next week. Same place, same time here on the TrackSpotTV YouTube channel. And we look forward to the final 3 races of the season. Can Lucas Blake hold on towards the end? Will there be a late charge from anyone in the field? And can Lewis Bourgeat do anything about this miserable finish he's had today at round 7? We shall see. Join us back here in 1 week's time. You've had myself, George Cooke, in the commentary box, joined by John Wright. And he has been right a few times today, that is for sure. And we'll see how long that lasts all the way through the rest of the season. Fantastic interviews, and thanks to the drivers for jumping in for their interviews today. Thank you to the league admins and everyone who's watched today on YouTube. Until next time, we will see you. It is a bye-bye from us in the commentary box here at Talladega. Stay safe out there, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.